This is part 2 of my WESTY pop top canvas replacement. As you can see, I was able to get the roof off by myself, flipped it over, and found very minor wood damage, which we were able to take care of right away. All right, I've chipped away at this plastic stuff, and you can see that here's the extent of my rot. Looks like I'm going to be able to just get in there and pop this stuff out, cut another piece and put it in there. Well, that's the main plane anyways. Doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. All right, here's next morning. I heard we were going to get a little bit of rain here in Southern California, so I had to go ahead and cover everything up, flip everything over, and just put everything aside. Hopefully it dries out, we can get back to work. I've gone ahead and laid out everything I need for this job. I've got the little tack strips that my staples have to go through. I've got a new seal to go around the top, and as well as on the inside, and the fringe. And here's my top. There's a note here that says, check the size of the new tent against the old one because it won't be returnable once it's installed. There's my old tent. There's my new tent. At least the color's correct. I'm sure it's gonna be the right size. So what I'm doing here is I've got my whole canvas laid out, trying to figure out which is going to be inside out and right side in, because of course you have to have the zippers on the inside. So what I've done is taken a couple of clamps here and just kind of clamped it into place. You have to start in the front with it being exactly center. You know, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm just kind of not really going to do it today, but I'm going to knock it out first thing in the morning. So I'm just kind of getting an idea of what's going on. So this actually looks, I figured it'd fit a little tighter than that, but I guess once you get it stapled, stapled into place, it should be okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and get the corners lined up as good as possible, and then I'll start slowly putting a few staples in here and keep it as taut as possible. I still haven't found any labels or anything telling me what this fits, so it came with the car, so I'm hoping it's the correct one for a 68 through 73 WESTY. All right, I'll be back shortly. All right, looks like 43 and a half. So my center is going to be 21 and 3/4. So we'll go ahead and mark that just with a little line right there so I know where the center is. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the canvas, fold that in half, figure out where the center of that is. Okay, back at it again. I've got the canvas laid in the correct spot, so when I lift this up, I can see my screens will be on the outside and my zippers on the inside. Okay, one thing I'm noticing that at the bottom here, there is this bead that is sewn in. And then up top, I see a bead laying down here, kind of glued in. So I thought I needed to leave it in there, so I've been being very careful so our screw holes stay lined up, but I guess I don't need to worry about that, so that has to come off. Okay, back up top, I've moved things around and kind of cleaned it up a little bit so it's a little bit more presentable. Got a lot of sunshine today. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get the rest of this pulled up and out of the way. That means I have to get in here and clean it again because I thought I was going to try and save this. Okay, I guess the next step is going to be just stapling it in. So what I did is I laid the canvas into place, figured out where I wanted to be, and put just a couple of staples in it. I cut the first tack strip, and I'm trying to go by where the last set of staples were. Because from what I've seen is sometimes the canvas is a little too tight, you gotta put spacers. Anyways, I'm gonna just try and follow this pattern. A little worried over here because I got more bunched up here than I have bunched up in the corner over here. But I figure since this has to go up so high, and this doesn't, I would prefer to have the slack over on this side. All right, back to it. All right, so I got the tack strip on the place, and now it's just a matter of putting as many staples in as you feel like putting in. So I'm gonna go around, all the way around, and get this tacked in. You can see I got quite a bit of it done already. Okay, tack strip is all in place, tacked in. This is how much leftover I had. They got it figured out, don't they? All right, next I'm gonna try and roll this up and kind of tape it down. And then I'm gonna get out my ladder apparatus and see if we can hoist this thing back up there. Stay tuned. All right, and then there's this new fringe that sits along here, and as you can see, it was held in by these little tiny screws. And I don't think I'm gonna put those back in there. I might just tack it up with some staples like I've seen other people do. All right, next goes on the rubber seal. I've got my little rubber mallet. Go ahead and gently tap this on all the way around. And then we just trim off the excess. Okay, I have no idea this is gonna work, but I taped the top down just with some carton sealing tape, because that's what everybody's using. I've extended my ladder from this shelf up to my awning there. And my idea is I'm gonna flip this thing around, set it on top of there, and then try and wiggle it up onto the roof. So I've got a couple of ladders, a couple of step stools, and I'm all by myself. So we're gonna see how this is gonna work out. I've got a couple of mats on there just because I don't want to mess up my new rubber. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on a tripod so you guys don't miss a thing. Just like before, I forgot to put that umbrella down. What do you think, guys? You have faith in me? Think this is gonna happen? Am I gonna just hurt myself? All right, roof's set into place. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and get these things lined up and bolted in. You can see that's where I did my repair, so I can drill through from the top and bolt it down in here in the bottom. Right now I just put these upright supports just sitting into place. Of course, it's not screwed in. Well, that's how it's gonna look. Let's just see if we could make it tight enough, and hopefully not too tight. And there's my fringe. All right, pretty excited. Front hinges are bolted in, and it's just propped up there. That's the first. I'm gonna wrap up for now. Get back on it first thing in the morning.